Hey everyone, this is Rob over here at BuneBape, and I hope you're having an amazing day. Today I'll be bringing you all another old school video, and this time I wanted to do a little comparison with the new ability Shadow's Veil. This ability helps you at thieving, so I decided to head over here to Ardy Knights and do a few thieving comparisons with and without the ability. So in this video I'll be explaining everything you need to know about the new ability Shadow's Veil. Also, I'll be telling you all about the tests, so you can go ahead and decide for yourself whether it's trustworthy or not. And lastly, I'll be telling you the results, so you can see whether it's worth your time and runes in order to use the spell while thieving. Before we get into the video any further, if you enjoy this video or it helps you at all, please make sure to leave a like. It really does help the channel get noticed and it's greatly appreciated. Also, if you want to see more content like this, or you just enjoy hanging out with us, make sure to subscribe so that you get notified whenever new content is available. And lastly, I have been streaming quite a bit lately, so if you are interested in that and want to hang out there, you can over at twitch.tv/BuneBape, and of course, that link as well as all of our socials is going to be in the description. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and let's jump straight into it. So first things first, let me tell you about the new ability Shadow Veil. This ability comes from the newly reworked arceuus spellbook, and you need to have at least a magic level of 47, as well as the completion of a Kingdom Divided, the brand new quest, in order to even cast it. So decently high requirements, as a Kingdom Divided does require that you have 100% favor in all of the houses in Corinth and Kebos. I actually have a full video where I pretty much review the quest and also some pretty interesting theories where I think Jagex could potentially be adding a brand new continent into the game. So if you're interested in that, I will be having a link up top as well as down in the description. So the main effect of this ability is that it gives you a 15% chance to avoid being stunned and damaged while pickpocketing NPCs. And this may sound a lot like the Dodgy Necklace because it actually also stacks with the Dodgy Necklace, giving the player a total of 40% chance in order to not be stunned and damaged. The amount of time that the ability actually lasts for is based on the player's magic level at the time of casting, so this can be boosted if you want to get a few more seconds out of it. Overall, I have some pretty high hopes for this spell, as I think it's really cool. It seems really cool on paper, and it has some decently high requirements, so I'm hoping that it's actually going to pay off in the end. So now that you know what the ability does, let's get into the tests. I'll tell you exactly the steps that I took in order to test out all three different methods of not wearing anything, using the Dodgy Necklace, and then lastly combining the Dodgy Necklace as well as the ability. So as far as what I did for the test, a couple things that I did want to preface is that I am level 75 thieving as well as magic level 86 in this video. I also need to mention that these are not going to be the most accurate of estimates. I mostly wanted to get a rough estimate for myself to see if it would be worth it to come here and use the necklace as well as the spell whenever I do go back to the Ardy Knights. With that being said, I really wish I could have stayed here for the 10 hours to get a real accurate estimate, but this is really all I had because I didn't want to level up during these tests from 75 to 76, so I actually only tested each of these methods for 15 minutes. And I am glad I did because I actually got all the way to 80% of a level by the end of the test. So one last thing to bear in mind is that thieving, even with the best buffs, is very luck based, so there are a couple of the results in here that don't make the most sense, but I really just chalk it up to having either a good or bad run of luck while thieving. So that being said, my setup for the base with nothing special equipped is honestly just whatever gear I happen to be having, with a full inventory of wines, as well as 2 empty slots, one for the pouches and one for the gold. I did that for 15 minutes and then I swapped to the Dodgy Necklace, so I threw 3 Dodgy Necklaces in my inventory and equipped one, with again 2 empty slots for the gold, reset the XP, and filled my inventory with more wines. Third and finally, I again had my inventory set up the exact same way, except I had a lava staff equipped as well as a stack of cosmic runes. This is because the spell Shadow Veil actually requires that you have 5 earth runes, 5 fire runes, and of course 5 cosmic runes. So it's actually kind of a costly spell, so I was really hoping that it would be worth it in the end. So that's how I ended up carrying out this test. I really hope that this test is going to be sufficient enough for someone to find it useful. Like I said, I really did wish that I could take a lot more time and get a much more accurate estimate, but I just wanted a rough estimate, and plus, since I'm not 99, it's really hard to have a continuous series of multiple hours on each different setup, considering I would be leveling up multiple times if I did do that. So with all that out of the way, let's get into the part that a lot of people are really looking forward to, and that's going to be the direct comparison between all three. I'm going to be showing you the theoretical XP per hour as well as gold per hour I got while doing each of these methods. I'm not going to be including the cost of cosmic runes, as of course this changes pretty often. So as far as the test results actually went, for the very first result, I ended up getting roughly 128k experience per hour as well as 77k GP per hour. But do keep in mind, I think this was a slightly luckier than normal test session, so take this definitely with a very large grain of salt. Then, along with the Dodgy Necklace equipped, I ended up getting 126k per hour, so slightly less experience, but a little bit more GP per hour at 78k. I honestly am not exactly sure how that worked, but I checked everything and it all checked out. I did everything correctly. It just ended up being really weird, and I guess it just goes to show that the Dodgy Necklace might not make the biggest difference in short-term tests like this. And even with these tests in front of me, I still use the Dodgy Necklace whenever I am at Ardy Knights. I do feel like it saves me a lot of time in the long run. Lastly, for the new and exciting spell that makes it so that you have a much higher chance to be let off the hook, we ended up getting around 131,000 experience per hour with 79,000 GP per hour. So needless to say, this was quite a bit of a letdown. Like I said, I thought the spell in essence was a really cool idea, and I was really hoping that it was going to have a much larger impact, but as you can see, it was better than the other two regardless of the RNG factor. And obviously, like I said in the beginning, I could have optimized my use of Shadow Veil earlier. But even with that being said, I still think that this might not justify the amount of money you're going to be spending on cosmic runes. That being said, I did get more experience per hour, so if I did run this test for a long time, I could definitely see this paying off in the long run. So if runes or money isn't a factor, then honestly, you should just go with the Dodgy and the Shadow Veil combination. Honestly though, even after all of this and seeing that it wasn't that much of a gain over my 15-minute test, I am very likely to actually use this spell as well as this method the next time I plan on camping Ardy Knights for quite some time. Because overall, at the end of the day, I am looking for higher experience rates per hour, and I do think that this would pay off in the end. 40% is a pretty high chance to not get knocked out whenever fighting Ardy Knights. And of course, as you level up, that's going to become much more apparent as you're going to be getting knocked out less in general. So the closer you can get it to 0, the better. And it doesn't cost that much at the end of the day. So hopefully I'll just do Vorkath or Bandos for a little bit, get some money, and come back here the next time I need to get up my thieving. Overall, that's going to be it from me and this video. Let me know down in the comments if you thought this video was helpful. Obviously, there's a lot that I could have improved, but let me know if there's anything else besides the obvious. Thanks for watching. I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you all very soon.